In this episode, we'll take a look at the RODE AI Micro, which is a tiny little audio interface which allows you to record two microphones into your iOS device, Android device, or Mac or PC. All right, so first up, this is a tiny little audio interface. What does that mean? It means it has two 3.5 millimeter microphone inputs, and it has a USB-C output, which you can connect then to your iOS device, to an Android device, or to your Mac or PC and record on those devices. So it's really useful if you are a creator that is on the go, that really needs something that's very, very small, lightweight, and allows you to go anywhere and record two people. So can be a very handy device for those that are in that situation. Now, here is an unprocessed two-person recording in a room that has lots of audio reflections and reverberations, so kind of a worst-case scenario. This is what it sounds like. All right, we're recording here, and we are using the RODE AI Micro. It's a little audio interface. In this case, we're recording into an iPhone, whichever iPhone I have. I think it's the 12 Pro Max, Mega, Large, Big. And Danny's wearing a microphone as well.
Yes, this is the mic I'm wearing. I don't remember what it's called.
Well, it's very easy. It's actually called the RODE Lavalier II.
The RODE Lavalier II.
Yes, and I am using the RODE Lavalier Go.
All right.
So that's what you're hearing right now. We're in a very reverberant space. We have wood floors here and a table in front of us.
There's less wind than we had this morning, though.
Yeah, less wind. That's good because it was incredibly windy. It was like Siberia here this morning.
It was like a tiny, warm preview of Siberia.
Exactly. First up, this entire episode is being recorded with the AI Micro. So I have a RODE Lavalier II, which is plugged into the AI Micro, and that's then plugged into my iPhone 12. All right, first up, let's talk about the pros. Number one, tiny audio interface, two 3.5 millimeter microphone inputs, and a USB-C output. Now it comes with the cables that you need to connect it to an iOS device, so a lightning cable, or you can just use a USB-C cable to go into an iPad Pro, or you can use that USB-C cable to go into most Android devices which have a USB-C input. And of course you also have an USB-C to USB-A cable, so you can go into a Mac or PC if you've got a USB-A input on those. So nice thing is it works with all of those. Now, those two 3.5 millimeter microphone inputs can take a TRS or a TRRS microphone. Now, what does that mean for those that are not familiar with those terms? That's basically going to be most lavalier microphones, whether it's made to record directly into an audio recorder or camera, or made to record into a computer or a mobile device. So pretty much any of those, it automatically senses which one you're using and adapts itself to work with that. So that's really nice as well. But you can also use things like RODE video mics. You could use wireless microphone systems that have a 3.5 millimeter output as well. So lots of different options here. It does also include a headphone jack, and that headphone jack is nice. It allows you to listen in real time. So you do have to configure that on your device to be able to hear it in real time. So you can actually hear yourself talking and the other person talking if you wanted to monitor it in real time. But that's an option there, which is really, really helpful. Now, as I mentioned, you do have to configure the device somehow, and you can use a variety of different apps to do that. You can use the RODE Connect app, you can use RODE Central, or you can use the RODE Reporter apps, and those run on different platforms. So RODE Connect is, I believe, on Mac and PC. RODE Central is going to be on iOS and Android, and same with the RODE Reporter. I actually use the RODE Reporter in this case just to record the audio for this session, and then I sync it up to the video that I'm shooting on my camera in post. It does record in 24-bit, 48 kilohertz to a WAV file. So in this case, for example, with the RODE Reporter app, that's exactly what I get here, a WAV file in the end, 48 kilohertz, 24-bit, high quality, and it's good to go. You can also configure this to record the two separate microphones independently, so each on their own track. So you can, in post, do a very careful mix and cut out the parts that you don't need for one track while the other person's talking to make it really clean and sound great. Or if you prefer, you're not going to have time to do any post-processing, you can merge them so they're just coming in as a single mix. Or if you have a self-powered stereo microphone that you want to plug in, you can record one of those to input number one here. Again, all this is configured in one of the three apps we talked about before. You can also configure a high pass filter on each of the inputs. What does that do? So if you have air conditioning or some sort of low frequency hum in the area where you're recording, it will help filter some of that out, so you get a cleaner recording overall. Now, we did our practical noise floor test. This is not really, I shouldn't really call it a test, it's more of a sample. So I recorded some audio where I spoke, and then I stopped speaking for a period of time. I brought that audio into post. I normalized the entire thing up to -23 LUFS, which is the European broadcast standard for loudness. And then I measured that so-called silent portion. And in that case, what I found was that the noise floor, if that's what we're measuring there, came in at -63 dB RMS max. So if you don't know what any of that means, what I just said there, what I can say is that that's pretty good. Now, is that amazing and is that going to compete with a lot of professional grade devices? Probably not. But is it good enough to use? I think absolutely yes. So it is fairly clean in terms of producing self noise. The device comes in at $79 USD. We've got a link down below if you're interested in taking a look at that. Now, there are a couple of cons. Number one, there is no sort of LED to indicate that it's connected to a device or that it's talking to that other device. So you really have to rely on the app that you're plugging into to make sure that everything is connected and working okay. And then the other con I ran into, at least with my phone, was I found that I had to plug it in, maybe unplug it and plug it back in, or maybe quit the app and restart the app to get them communicating and working together. But once you did that, it worked solidly, and I never had it drop out during a recording. So just took it a little bit to get it started. That could be my phone. It could be the operating system on the phone. I'm not sure. But that is one thing that I did run into. So hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave those down below. If you've not already subscribed, make sure you do that. And we'll be sure to get you more great videos on how to improve your lighting and sound for video. Talk to you soon.